All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the Felix Curry Show. This is the last regular season coaches show that we have. Coach, it was senior night Friday against Cabot. We come out with a loss 31-7, but you got to be encouraged with everything that's going on this year. Cabot comes in with a good football team as usual, and we played them tough.
We did, and I don't think the score was a great indicator of the type of game it was. Came out offensively and drove the ball down, and I hate to be that guy to question calls, but, we felt like during that drive got two questionable calls, and then defensively we playing our butts off, and two third down situations where we thought we defended the ball well. As a matter of fact, got an interception on one, and was two pass interference calls, and their type of team, you can't give them anything.
Right.
It's bad enough stopping them without help, and then. But nevertheless, there were some plays that we left out there that we should have made that the officials had nothing to do with. So that was that.
Yeah, you hate it when the officials get involved in the game, but there was definitely some questionable calls, and for me, not being the coach and being in the broadcast team, it's hard for me not to be verbal about it. But we get the kickoff first, and the drive was a great drive because it was a great mixture.
It was
of running, great mixture of throwing.
It was,
and you're not throwing anything deep; you're just picking them apart.
That's right.
McLean, as usual, can do what he does. And then with your receivers, he's spreading it out, getting it to a lot of different receivers. A lot of credit to the offensive line, Coach. They were picking up blitzes. They were doing some things all night. They were impressive.
Cabot does a great job of trying to get pressure on the ball, and our offensive line and Coach Bader has done a great job with them guys. If you look at us early in the year, Moody was snapping the ball and having to throw it right then, and now he's at the point. I think even now, there's a comfort level with him sitting back there, and Cabot gave us some looks, man, and for the most part, we picked up everything.
Yeah, we get down after a nice run by Isaac. Get down inside the 5, probably somewhere around the 2. We get a holding call, which I felt like was a little questionable. Then we're back at our own 20. We take a timeout, kind of regroup. We have a tunnel screen to Cam, picks up a couple yards. And then the pass to Ezra, and Ezra's in, one-on-one, and he makes a move on a guy that reminded me of a move that Sunquist Church made against Harbor in a playoff game. That was amazing.
That's right.
And then dove for the end zone, held the ball out. It looked like it crossed the plane. I say it did.
I'll say this. I'll say this. In all my years coaching high school ball, I have never seen one get that close to the end zone and it end up being a touchback.
Yeah.
In all my years coaching, now you see it. You see it in NFL. You see it NCAA. But just that play and clearly everybody thought on our sideline it was a touchdown, and then we go from doing this here to calling the defense out. But that's kind of been the road we've traveled this year. It's been a tough road, and we don't expect anybody to give us anything, but at the same time, you hate when you feel like something was taken away from you.
No question about that. It was 14-0 at half, but they scored with 14 seconds left in half. And so it very easily could have been 7-0, but it was 14-0 at half. We're going to have to kick it to them to start the third quarter. We get a stop, and then we go on a drive, and we get another touchdown and I say another because I felt like we already had one, another touchdown from Ezra. And, Coach, I've seen a lot of football in my day, and I don't know that I've ever seen one receiver take out three guys on the other team and then run over another one to get in the end zone.
We have a great receiving core, and I think anybody on our team and anybody that has played against us, they'll tell you that Ezra Phillips is as hard-nosed as it comes. He's a tough kid when he wants to get to the end zone. And just like the other time, when it was called a fumble, he's doing all he can to get in the end zone, and that's him.
Well, it was incredible to watch. We ran the replay a lot of times, and we saw some footage from the end zone, and to see those three guys converge on Ezra, and then just they all fell, and they're literally on their back, and then he runs over another one, and the guy that he ran over was Noah Martin. He's a senior defensive back, but he's the same guy that he put the move on in the first quarter, in our first drive.
Yeah.
So that guy, he's probably woke up Saturday morning seeing number 3 like in a bad dream, you know.
But I guess he said they got the win, so he's all right with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We talk about some of the calls and some of the critical calls. There was a 4th down and long, and they threw a pass, and Abram intercepts it. They call interference, and I don't know where that call came from.
That actually, if you look, it was called on Ezra.
Because he was at his feet.
Ezra's at corner, and he's running step for step with the guy, and the ball is thrown, and him and the guy kind of tries to lay out for it, and may have, you know, I don't know if – I don't know, but Dotson comes down with the interception, and they call pass interference. And
well, they called it. We thought they called it on Dotson. There was that much room between the two, and he goes up to get the interception, and they get a fresh set of downs then after that. But if they called it on Ezra was actually at his feet then. So I don't know. You know, I hate to be the guy that says, you know, it's all – if it's against us, then it's not a good call. I don't want to be that guy. But
and truly, I hate even talking and complaining about it. But, it was some of them calls that you left the game feeling, man.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those games that I felt like you take a few plays out.
Exactly.
You know, we're in it. If we score on that first drive, instead of being down 7, we're up 7.
Exactly. And just right now where we are as a football team, and just trying to build some confidence and trying to build some wins. You know, to go down and to go from everybody on the sideline here to, you know, calling out the defense, it was a letdown.
Yeah.
And truth be told, I think that affected a lot of the game.
When you have a team scores in the last few seconds of the first half, and then they're going to get the ball, you really have to regroup and get your mind right coming out in the third quarter. And we did such a good job getting the stop and then getting in the end zone to make it 14-7. So about the middle of the third quarter, you know, we're in that ball game. And it was good to see. You know, you talk about going back to the first of the year and all the things that have happened up till now and still be competing with a Cabot football team as we did. That's got to be encouraging.
And that's the great thing about working with these kids. There's no quit in them.
Right.
And even during halftime of the Cabot game, you know, as let down as we were with some of the calls, you know, we were still in there and we were challenging them, and they responded, and you know, Cabot being a good football team, and we just didn't make some of the plays that we need to make, but it wasn't from a lack of effort. You know, we were fighting to win the ball game, and that's what I love about this football team.
It was an emotional night, being senior night,
it was.
And I hate to lose the seniors that we have. I'm so proud of them, you know, for being who they are.
That's right.
On and off the field.
That's right.
In a season like this, and just giving 100%. And I wish them the best.
Yeah,
and we're
still, you know, the season isn't over, and we're still hoping for the best. Even, you know, if we can get into postseason. So we'll see.
Well, Coach, we got one coming up against Little Rock Southwest.
Yes.
And we got to win that one. Be able to get in.
It's a must, or we'll. They know, you know, we win and we'll keep playing. And if we lose, we'll come home and we'll clean up. But it's not going to be an easy task. Probably one of the most improved football teams that you've seen. And in saying that, you know, they're a team that can beat us and they're a team that we can beat.
Yep. Well, Coach, we'll talk a little bit about Little Rock Southwest at the end of the show, but you brought some players with you tonight. We got JT and Ray.
Yeah, we
looking
got
forward to talking to them.
You know, a lot of people, we hear a lot of talk about that
Right.
receiving core, and I think we got one of the better receiving cores in the state. You hear a lot about Ezra, you hear a lot about Cam, but we have two guys that are as valuable on that receiving core, and the public get a chance to meet them.
Yeah, and there's a big difference between the two. You got one that's a senior.
Yeah.
You got one that's a freshman.
Exactly.
So does the freshman learning from the senior? We'll find out.
We'll see.
All right,
We'll
Coach,
see.
stay with us. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back. We're going to have those two players with us. We'll be right back.
All right.
Welcome back to the Felix Curry Show. We got a couple of receivers here. This is Rashawn Clark, number 2, JT Thomas, number 13. This young man right here is a senior.
Yes, sir.
This one is a freshman. So have you been a good mentor for him?
Yes, sir.
You think he's learning from you?
Yes, sir.
If you're going to learn, you got to watch this guy
Yes, sir.
right here. He's been there and done that. It's almost over.
Yes, sir.
So how was senior night for you?
Senior night, it was a good thing. Glad we all finished good this year. Even though our record wasn't good, but I feel like we all contributed to the team and did what we needed to do.
Right. Was it a little emotional for you, you know, when you're walking out there before the game
Yes, sir.
with your family? You were the actual first one to come out. Did you feel like, is this real? I mean, is this the last game I'm going to play at Mayo Thompson?
Yeah. When I was walking out, it had me sad. But once we played the game, I just forgot about it. And then
Yeah.
just made
Once the game
plays.
started, you
Yes,
just
sir.
got into the game.
Yes, sir.
But you had a good night, 4 catches, 40 yards, averaging
sir.
10 yards a catch. You've been a big playmaker all year long. Being a receiver in a team like ours, Northside's team, with a quarterback like McLean, that's got to be exciting.
Yes, sir.
You know that if you get open, he can find you, and he's got the arm to deliver just about any throw.
Sir.
So I'm sure that when that play comes in, and you know, hey, it could be right now.
Yes, sir.
You know, fun to be playing for a team that has a passing attack like you do.
Yes, sir.
And now for a young man like JT, first of all, I got to find out something. So I asked your dad before, where'd you get that speed? And he said you have an uncle that you may have inherited that from.
Yes, sir.
Who's your uncle?
James Ross, number 35. He played for the Razorback.
That's pretty serious genetics right there.
Yes, sir.
I hear a lot of stories about how fast you are. Like in the country, you're ranked for your age. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That's I remember seeing you for the first time in the summer, and y'all were running pass routes, and somebody in the stands, one of the coaches yelled at McLean, "See if you can outthrow him, overthrow him."
Yeah.
And
I remember
that didn't turn out too well for him. And I keep thinking now that you're returning kicks that you may break one. And I like the way that you return kicks, because when you make the catch, I mean, there's no hesitation.
Yes, sir.
You know, you're trying to find that hole right off the bat. But you've got a really, you have a way, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, you can go lateral, right and left. You can go north and south, but the quickness of your change is pretty amazing.
Yes, sir.
So how do you work at that?
Training, a lot of training, even in the house. Like
Yeah.
when there's days that I can't go to the field,
Yeah.
I'd be in my room just making a lot of noise. My dad would be downstairs yelling at me or whatever.
All right.
And it's just
So-
gotta want it. That's all.
So how do you train for it though? I mean, what do you do in the off season?
I look up videos how to get in and out my breaks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Route running and stuff. Look up NFL players and stuff like that, and then
Right.
see what I can do with that.
So when they ask you as a freshman, we're going to need you to step up and play some varsity ball, how'd you feel about that?
At first, I was nervous because I thought everybody's gonna be much bigger than me. But then as I stepped on the field and I seen that there's a lot of people that's just my size, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I got it.
9th grade. I mean, it's pretty young to be doing that. Now, Ray, what are you, about 6'1"?
Like 6 foot.
6 foot?
Yes, sir.
That's a great height. Be playing receiver, and you got some vertical ability too.
Yes, sir.
To try to mentor JT, he's still going to grow. I mean, he's still got 3 more years of high school ball.
Yes, sir.
That's got to be exciting for you. I mean, now that you're a senior, what is your plan once you graduate and get into life? Are you wanting to play more ball, or you wanting to go to college for a different reason?
My plan, once after high school, I like animals and stuff, so I might stick with fishing and stuff because I like fishing. And then I like just the ocean and stuff.
So when you were being introduced as a senior, I know you said something about marine biology.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that something that you're considering?
Yes, sir.
When you get into school?
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of computer science,
Yes, sir.
a lot of math, a lot of engineering that goes into that. That's pretty serious stuff. But hey, the good news is, do you already know where you're going to go to school?
Well, I wanted to go to Fayetteville. If that works out, then I'll go. But if UFIS, I want to go to UFIS too.
Okay. Well, you know where some good marine biology schools are? One, USC, out on the coast. University of Miami.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that'd be pretty serious,
Yeah,
wouldn't
those
it?
are some good
Be fun.
schools.
Those are good schools.
Yes.
But in that field, it probably wouldn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
So do you think that you might play some more ball somewhere?
Yeah, I hope so. If I get an offer, then that's where I'm going to go.
Right.
I'm going to go anywhere.
So you'd rather, and that's your first option.
Yes, sir.
Play football. Your second option's to get, well, I mean, even if, you're playing football, you can still be, in marine biology.
Yes, sir.
I think you have to have a bachelor's degree, but then there's other things, and I think you can get it within 4 years.
Yes, sir.
If I'm not mistaken about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So who's your favorite college football team?
Probably Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have a good wide receiver core. So I'll
they
usually
do.
look up a player on their team. Marvin Harrison Jr. He's a
Shoot,
good
yeah.
wide receiver.
Good
So I'll
player.
watch him.
Yeah. They had a kid from North Little Rock
Yes,
that
sir.
played there a few years back.
Yes, sir.
I actually called a lot of his game, broadcasted a lot of his games when we played against him. He was a great. In fact, he set some records there. I think they still stand. But he was from North Little Rock, and Ohio State snatched him from Arkansas. I don't know how we didn't get him, but I do know how. But I hate that we didn't get him. But Ohio State's a good football team. JT, what about you? Who's your favorite college football team?
Texas Longhorn.
Hook 'em Horns.
Yes, sir.
Man, I dated a girl when I was in junior high, and the Hogs, were always my favorite team. And she was from Texas, had moved here, and Arkansas and Texas were playing. It was a big game. We were all pumped up for it, and I couldn't wait to get to school. All my friends, talking about the game. This was on Friday. She comes to school wearing orange. Every time I look at her, she's giving me this right here. You know what that is?
Yes, sir.
Hook 'em Horns. We broke up over that. Yeah. We broke up over that. It didn't go over well with me, but I'll root for you if you go to University of Texas.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So, what about a pro team? Who's your favorite pro?
Probably the Bengals.
Okay.
I watch a lot of Jamar Chase and his route running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got your mindset on a little more football then.
Yes, sir.
All right. JT, what about you? Pro, who's your favorite?
I don't really got one.
Don't have one yet? You got plenty of time, brother. Plenty of time to get a favorite. Well, we got one more regular season game.
Yes, sir.
Little Rock Southwest. We're going to go there and play them. We got to have a win.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we got to set our minds right, and when we get there Friday night, just get a big jump on them. Let's jump on them right off the bat. All right,
sir.
maybe JT can run a kickoff back. Maybe you can catch a little skinny post and turn it into a TD, and let's get on them real quick.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. First of all, I want to say, Ray, I've enjoyed calling your games. You're a senior. I hate to see you go.
Yes, sir.
All right, but I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Whatever you end up doing, I wish you the best, but you're always going to be a Grizzly.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, JT, you got 3 more years left, and you're going to continue to build on what you've done this year, and it's going to be exciting to watch you. If this man right here has any advice for you, keep his phone number. All right, he's already been there and done that.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go get us a Griffin. All right,
Yes,
you know what a Griffin is?
No, sir.
You don't need to know. All right, let's go get them. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
all right. Rashawn Clark, number 2, senior. JT, number 13, freshman. Hear it for these guys. We're going to go get us a win. All right, stay with us. When we come back, we'll have a couple more players.
Between life, work, and family, sometimes the person that you need to take care of the most is you.
At Fort Smith Therapy Health and Wellness, you're never alone. Through our counseling, we can help you regain control of your emotions, mental health, and life. We provide both face-to-face and virtual therapy services. Whether it's for your child, family, or yourself, Fort Smith Therapy is here to help your true self shine through.
Schedule your appointment today with Fort Smith Therapy Health and Wellness.
All right, welcome back to La Huerta, Felix Curry Show. Sure enjoyed talking to Ray and JT. You got one that's leaving and one that's just going to be a sophomore next year and got a big future for the Grizzlies. But this guy right here, number 11, Zion Bishop, and I got to go back to when you were a sophomore. All right, I'm sitting in Coach Fuller's office. Now, this happened quite a few times. But I'm sitting in Coach Fuller's office, and you walk in. You look around. You're not saying anything. You're just looking around. You go over to his desk, and you pick up his papers, and you're looking underneath them. And you go over his drawer, and you open it up and look in. And Coach Fuller goes, "Bishop, what do you want?" "Oh, nothing, Coach. I'm just killing some time." At that moment, I'm thinking that's how you live life right there.
Yes, sir.
You just like to have a good, you're always smiling. You like to have a good time, and you have paid your dues.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have hung in there with it, and you've been to the practices. You've gone through what I guess any young man goes through that wants to get some playing time, and you did it. And I want to go back to the Greenwood game this year, and they always talk about Kane Archer. Kane Archer. I give him credit. He's a good player.
Yes,
no
sir.
question.
I'll give him his credit too.
Give him his credit. But you got an INT on him.
Yeah. Well, so like coming into the game, bro, I knew like what he was capable of doing. The little quick routes he loves to throw.
Right.
And so all week during practice, Coach said, just look him in his eye. He's gonna throw the ball where he needs to throw it. So whenever it was about game time, I seen he motioned the running back out, and his eyes was on the running back the whole time. He motioned out the whole time, read his eyes, and the ball happened to come my way, picked it off.
How'd you feel after that?
I felt relieved because how bad the game was going and all that. I felt like that made
up for a little.
Put a good feeling to everyone.
You don't know how happy it made me as a broadcaster, knowing you like I do and seeing you paid those dues all these years to get that INT in a game like that. I almost tore up all my depth charts and everything else. It all went everywhere. Just so happy to see you get that INT, and now seeing you got one game left in the regular season. Hopefully we get that win and get us a playoff game. But I just want to tell you how much I've enjoyed watching your career and how you have set the standard for players that think that they can just come in and automatically start playing. You know, it's not that way. You've got to earn that position, and you never quit. You never gave up. There's no quit in you.
No, sir. You know, that's what most people think. They think because, you know, like knowing, you know, they like how good they are. Like Coach Curry, he's big on being very disciplined, you know. And it's like a lot of people, you know, most like the very like how many things we encountered throughout this whole season, because we had good players, just discipline and all that. You know, them guys right there, like, no good, like he always say.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing that I noticed about you two is you're very intense. You know, you got a nose for the football. And when you make a tackle, you make a tackle. But you're the first guy to help him up, get him up. You're a great sportsman.
You know, I've always, you know, just positive, you know, don't do nothing stupid.
Right.
So just something good in return.
Yeah. You have any plans for after school?
Well, yeah, I applied to a few colleges, you know, trying to become an accountant. Yes, sir.
You want to be in the accounting business?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what, I might be looking for a good accountant. All right?
Yes, sir.
So if you can get to school, get your degree, get in the accounting business, you know where I am.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Zion, you're an inspiration.
Thank you.
To people that you've been around, your friends, and definitely to me. And I hate to see you go, man. I really do. But you have done such a great job, and I look forward to what you're going to do in life, because you're going to do well.
Sir.
All right? Good.
Hey, thank you.
All right, man. All right, it's Zion Bishop, number 11. He's got one more regular season game, and then it's on to the playoffs. All right? Stay with us. We got one more.
Consumer notice. Interest rates are at a 22-year high. To gauge the demand for lower rates, or Chevrolet of Fort Smith is holding a great percent event. 1.9% financing for 60 months on select models is in effect. New 2023 Silverado 1500, new 2023 Equinox, new 2023 Trailblazers. 1.9% financing. Plus, get over $3,000 in or extra value. Or Chevrolet of Fort Smith.
You always get more at Or.
Welcome back to the Felix Curry Show. It's really my highlight of the show. Not that I don't like talking to Coach Curry. I do. I really love talking to him. But the kids that come on, the players with Ray, JT, and Zion, Ezra. Senior night. You saved the best for last. I've seen you play every down of your high school career, and that was a display that you'll be in your memory for the rest of your life. But to play as well as you did offensively, and then to do what you did defensively, you had 8 catches for 69 yards. I say 2 touchdowns. You get credit for 1. But you had 12 tackles, 6 solo, 6 assists. It was impressive, and it's something that if you anybody that saw that would have to say he left nothing on the field. It was all there. I mean, you gave everything you had to do it. When you started the football game, what was in your mind before you started?
I just wanted to come out and win my last home game, leave it out on the field.
And that's what you did.
Sir.
There is a guy that plays for Cabot. His name's Noah Martin. He's number 25. He has got to be seeing 3 in his dreams at night. He's the guy that you put that move on. I don't know if you remember Sunquist Church. Sunquist made a move on a guy against Harbor in a playoff game. No, I don't know. It wasn't a playoff game. It was a shootout, though.
Yeah.
Big
Came
shootout.
out to
You
the
were
final
there.
score. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
there.
He was going down the sideline, and he had a lot more room towards the middle of the field than he did towards the sideline. But he took that route, and the guy was just spinning, and he ended up scoring on it. But you did the exact same thing to this guy. And when you made that move, then you have to try to get in the end zone, and you stretch for it. And I felt like you got in. I looked at it, I don't know how many times. It didn't go our way, but it didn't change your goal and your purpose for being there. You just kept doing what
I had to
Ezra
get that
did.
one back.
Yeah.
I had to get that one back.
The next one, I don't know that I've ever seen anything like that. There were 3 guys that hit you all at the same time. They went down like dominoes. And then who was next? Noah Martin. That's who you ran over to get in the end zone. So I'm sure that he is struggling with what number 3 did to him that night. Ezra, you have your future now is college football. That's what you're thinking about doing or wanting to do.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you thinking right now?
Like where I want to go?
Yeah.
I really don't know.
You got plenty of time
Yes, sir.
to make that. I know you had a recruiting trip to a team in Missouri.
Yes, sir.
You have that, but then after that display that you put on Friday night, I mean, you're getting a lot of attention.
Yes, sir.
There's teams that would love to have a player like you that can do whatever is asked of him and perform well at it. So I know that you're excited about that, and it's here now. You know, all this came pretty fast.
Yeah.
These last, 7 or 8 weeks have just been a blur. And I know that you've done everything that you know to do in this season. It hadn't gone the way you wanted it to go as far as wins and losses. But your individual effort, along with a lot of your teammates that have done a lot, and it's something to be proud of.
Yes, sir.
We have this one game left, and we need to get that win.
Yes, sir.
So if when all of it's over, all of it is said and done, what are you going to remember most about Northside? Don't say McKenna. Okay. You can if you want to.
Nah. We're all family.
Family.
Yes, sir. We all come together as one.
It was all a team effort.
Yes, sir.
So is that what you'll miss most?
Yes, sir.
I've been there, and I played on a team as a senior that we didn't have the one-loss record that we would like to have had, but it was a very tight-knit group, and it's something that will live with you from now on. So I know that you'll take that with you. But when you come to Mayo Thompson, anytime in the future, you can look out there and say, gave my best, man, 100%. And that was the most impressive display of athletic talent that I've seen. And I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to what you're going to do next.
Yes, sir.
And I know you're thinking about being in the communication business too.
Yes, sir.
So are you still going to be my broadcast partner for a couple of basketball games?
Oh, yeah.
All right. We got to help Miss Jennings get that Emmy. That's her goal.
All right.
All right, Ezra. Any final thoughts on Northside or what we need to do to get that win? Just go out and do it.
Do what we do.
Do what we do.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
do it.
Put the ball in the end zone.
Let's do it. Number 3, Ezra Phillips, senior.
Family. It's bigger than bloodlines, stronger than DNA. It's the circle we draw around the people that matter, the people we care about and care for, the folks who inspire us, guide us, root for us. Family means finding common ground, rolling up our sleeves, and making our way side by side. Armstrong Bank, Strength runs in our family.